video probably when I first started, and I have since not published that video anymore. But I wanted to talk about this smear campaign from a different perspective. I want to talk
Hey,
about.
babe,
I
thanks
want
for
to give
coming
you
in. I
some
really do
I want to
appreciate
give you
it.
some revelation about the smear campaign.
Thank
Okay,
you.
this dreaded smear campaign that the narcissist loves,
I am
absolutely
trying to
loves, to
get a clarity. I'm trying to be nice. I'm trying to be good. I'm trying to get a clarity on bio. What did you, wait a minute. Dialogable. Diabolical. Well, you'll see what I'm talking about.
enact upon us survivors. It is a very real part of the cycle, the abuse cycle. It's not part of the cycle, but it is definitely an adjunct, okay, or an one of those things that is going to
Diabolical.
happen.
Diabolical.
Basically,
Okay, diabolical. Okay,
anytime I
so
said to you all in the live stream before,
hold
is
on.
that
It's diabolical. So, some kind of way, I'm no longer a pedophile. I'm no longer a stalker. I'm no longer a troll. I am diabolical. Wait a minute. I'm diabolical. I'm diabolical. God damn it. Well,
you can't change a spirit. And when you're dealing with the smear campaign comes into play. You all don't know this, but the smear campaign actually comes into play. They start to kind of do it in the love bomb stage, kind of like when you're headed towards the
diabolical.
devaluation stage. When you're headed towards the
Diabolical.
devaluation stage,
Okay,
and
listen.
you're
Diabolical. Oh my God, it's Simply. Hi, baby. Hi, Simply. Hi, Simply. Thanks for coming in. I really do appreciate it. I do, babe. Okay, diabolical.
going to see the smear campaign
I
come
done
into play.
smoked.
Now, it has to come into play because the narcissist knows that it's going to be a discard. They know that this is not, they know at some point they're going to have to discard you. They know at some point they are going to have some, they're going to have to get ahead of the narrative. They're going to have to get ahead of whatever you're going to say to the family. So they start laying the groundwork for the smear campaign very early on. This is why a lot of you, started to see the family go hot and cold on you. Sometimes you would come around and they'd be looking at you like, just nose all turned up or whatever. But that was because of what had been said to them. And let me just say this to you all. The smear campaign is really bad, y'all. It really is, and it doesn't change. The narcissist doesn't ever go back to these people and tell them the real truth. That's and also what you need to know is that the smear campaign is actually a
Okay, I think I'm ready to do this live. I done did a little research on diabolical because now that I'm diabolical, I'm like, I had to go and look this shit up because I've never been called diabolical before. And this is my new name up and down the YouTube streets. So I need to know what to expect with this new name. So I've been asking people about the new name, diabolical. And it's like, I know they frowning. I can't see their face, but I kind of get the feeling that they're frowning at me. It's like, ooh, what did you say? What'd you say, 23? I said Diabolical. Isn't that what she calling me? I believe that's what she's calling me. And I'm like, okay, so, oh well, I got some time. I do. Let's listen to my commentary. I'm being nice. I'm not going to talk all nasty.
Actually a confession, okay? A smear campaign is actually a confession of what the narcissist was actually doing to you, okay? And so the flying monkeys and everybody else that knows the narcissist, they're going to believe them. And you have to let them. You have to let them believe them. Because here's the thing, you can go back and try to fight that smear campaign if you want to, but you're dealing with demons on a whole nother level. Okay? They've told lies on you that you can't even fathom. Okay, you can't even fathom the lies that they've told on you. That's why, when they try to come back, they can never they can never bring you really back to the family, especially if you weren't in a marriage or whatever. They can never really there's nothing that they can do to patch up the way that they have basically um, decimated your character. I mean, they have when I tell you, it is just character assassination all day long. That is what it is, the smear campaign. And so I know that a lot of you have been hurt behind it, but let me just tell you, let me give you some revelation. When you see it, this is the enemy attempting to basically.
Hold on, we got a commercial. I'm right here. I'm right here. I'm not asleep. What time is it? I'm doing good. I gotta work in the morning. I gotta work in the morning, so.
My credit score is horrible. Should I try the self-secured credit card in 2023? Bad
I'm
credit
already
can
in
stop
bed.
you from getting a loan.
No, when you see it, this is the enemy attempting to basically, assassinate your character. This is what happens when you come in contact with one of Satan's agents. It's his way of being able to assassinate your character through another human being. You have to understand that this is a spiritual battle. You have to understand that this is spiritual warfare. You have to understand that Satan, the very name of Satan, means accuser. Okay? And so if they have that spirit inside of them, then you are going to definitely be accused. Satan's job is what he does all day long is he accuses God to us and then accuses us to God. That's what he does all day. So a narcissist has that same type of spirit. They have that same type of thing working inside of them. Now, the revelation in it all is that when you learn how to not see because it's a very real thing. Somebody sitting up telling lies on you. The very thing that you're gonna want to do is like, hey, that is not true. I did not say that. You are telling all kinds of lies. Why don't you tell the truth? Let me tell you something. You don't ever want to get into that type of situation with a narcissist. First of all you're going to do is engage with a devil, okay, that is happy that you are literally giving them some attention. So they're like, oh, that smear what I'm saying about you, it bothers you. Oh, it bothers you. Oh, let me go deeper. Oh, let me say more. Let me say more. And all they're going to do is they're gonna play you. 5 ways from Friday, because they're gonna say, I never said that about you. Oh, I never said this, and I never said that. So it's gonna be a back and forth game, because whatever the flying monkeys or the people are coming back and telling you, the narcissist is gonna say, I never said that. The narcissist is never gonna let you get them on the phone or get all of you together and talk about it and hash it out. That's what you're not gonna get. Okay? The narcissist is not gonna let that happen. Okay? Because if the narcissist allows that to happen, then the lies get exposed. You come with the facts. You can come with dates, times, and records. The narcissist is not going to come with that because all they did was feed them a whole bunch of lies. So because they're not going to ever allow you all to get together in that and you to discuss it and y'all to really talk about what happened, why are you going to try to fight with somebody that is working with a supernatural demonic force that is basically geared towards assassinating your character and destroying who you are? Remember, this is a spiritual battle. Remember that not only is it spiritual, but you're dealing with age-old demons that know how to push your buttons, that know how to tell lies beyond your belief. They listen. Anytime you're dealing with a manipulative spirit, and anytime you're dealing with someone that could tell just abominable lies, you don't want to fight that. You really don't. Unless you have something going on with your business and these people are absolutely affecting your business, then you want to, of course, take that up in court, because that's your livelihood or what have you. That if they're assassinating your character and ultimately destroying your livelihood, then at that point, you maybe want to seek legal counsel and get something done about that. But the narcissist will spread all types of lies about you. And the thing about it is, you know what has worked out for me? Because the narcissist told his family all types of lies, on me and everything. I mean, just to the point where, people just was like, oh, like I was the trash or the scum of the earth. But I'm going to tell you something, and I want you to really hear me. Whenever you are dealing with an enemy that is reckless and doesn't care about how they treat you, what you have to do in cases like that, you just have to have patience. You have to have patience. You have to continue to live your life in the way and the person and the integrity that you carry.
Right before I went into Akua, I didn't like the person I had become, and I was terrified to get sober because I knew that I was my biggest problem and I didn't
carry, and watch God work it out for you. See, because what you have to understand about you is that you as a person, you're not going to change. You're going to continue to do good, even, recovering. It may take you a minute, but you're going to continue with the integrity of the person that you truly are. And after a while, you're going to rise up and you're going to continue to rise and rise and rise and rise. Guess what? God is going to allow those people that believe those lies, because the narcissist is not going to rise. The nasty, the nasty, terrible, filthy, spirited people that they are, that's going to remain the same. And they're going to stay stagnated by the enemy in those same places. Okay? Doing the same exact thing. And what you will come to find out is they didn't just do that to you. It's probably been 3 or 4 other people since you that they've done the same thing to. Don't worry about the flying monkeys being a special kind of stupid and not being able to understand that. Don't y'all see that this person does this to everybody? They see. Let me say that again. They see. Okay? But what you have to understand is when it comes to the COC, which is the clan of crows, they know the narcissist. They know what they're doing. They know that they're probably sitting up there telling half-truths and whole lies on you. But guess what? They have a demonic system going. The family of the narcissist, they got a whole demonic system going. And guess what? That narcissist provides them with something, and the narcissist goes out and gets supply that the family can use, and the family has to, and in exchange, the family has to stick by that narcissist no matter what. Because most of you gonna testify that not only did the narcissist use you, but the family did too. So guess what? The family is not going to go against the system. The flying monkeys is not that they're not going to go against the system. They are not going to go against that system because the narcissist does things for them and they do things, and the narcissist brings survivors, victims you were at one point, over so they can use you. They all benefit from you. Okay? You keep being the beautiful person you are and let them continue being the trash that they are. Listen, trash does not change. Trash is trash, period. Okay? It's only fit for two places, the dumpster and the landfill. It's not fit for your bed, not fit for your life. So allow the trash to carry itself out. Let them carry out their smear campaign. Let them do whatever it is that they are big and bad enough to do. Because what I can tell you about a situation like that is the same words that they spoke and the same way that they assassinated your character, that same spirit will come and slow walk them down. You think everybody like the narcissist? Oh, there's some folks out there waiting to get their to get their hands on the narcissist. Trust me, it always comes full circle. That's why you never see them really progressing and moving and doing any fabulous things. They are always up against it. They are always somewhere talking about this person did that to them and that person did that to them. See, everybody's not going to believe the lies. Not going to believe the lies. Why fight with somebody that doesn't matter? Listen, when you are a believer, the enemy doesn't matter, especially when you know you hold the tools to take power and authority over him. And the power and authority that you take is over yourself. And you allow yourself to live life after the smear campaign. And what you do in that instance is that what you let the enemy know is that you don't have the power and authority to shut me down. You don't have the power and authority to assassinate my character. You don't have that power and authority, because for you to do that means that I'm going to stop living. No, because that's what the smear campaign is literally meant to do. It's literally meant to make you stop your entire life, focus all of your time and attention on that negative narrative that they are spewing out about you, and the devil is an entire lie. Why would I sit there and focus on things about me that I know that's not true? Just keep watching me, boo. Just keep watching me rise to the top. Just keep watching me get all my stuff back that the enemy thought he stole from me. Some of it I don't want back, because the narcissist, he can definitely keep him. But see, God is going to take you to a higher level. Listen, you are going to be better than you were before. Why? Because this situation didn't come to damage you. It came to make you stronger and to help you to understand that you can live beyond that. You can live beyond a smear campaign. Listen, I'll tell a narcissist in a minute, say what you want to say about me, boo-boo. Because at the end of the day, what you need to understand is that I'm going to still rise to the top. You're going to still be that trash that you always were. Talking trash, okay? Because that's what trash does. Trash lives, breathes, and talks trash all day. That's not who you are. So why should you take the beautiful, okay, integral, godly, precious you and engage with trash that has nothing to do with you? Because listen, somebody else's opinion, that is none of my business. Whatever somebody else thinks about me, especially somebody that don't have a care about, it has nothing to do with me. You okay? Has nothing to do with me. So you have to be that way. You have to let the enemy let him do what he does. Let him do what he does. But you have to understand that the vicious smear campaign, it just is what it is. You let the narcissist work hard, throwing and sowing those bad seeds, because the same seeds that they have sown are the same seeds that will come back to blossom in their own garden. What you sow, you also must reap. That's why you see them out here. I mean, they be out here bad after y'all are over and done with. That's why
Hi,
they're out here
Margaret.
suffering and going
Hi,
through
babe.
and looking bad like they do. Huh? You think you could just talk about
I'm gonna
somebody
do
and
my
assassinate their
research.
character and abuse
I
them
think
and
I'm ready.
misuse them that way? And then you think you're gonna come to a good end? No,
I
that's
know.
not how it works. That's not how it works. So let them say what they say. Let them do what they do. Because if whatever the people are that believe that,
I have to
they don't know you anyway, and they shouldn't even ever have a chance to know you. Because if that's what they're going to believe about the beautiful person that you are, listen, let the trash take itself out. Right on out of your life. All right, family. So I love.
I had to do this live tonight because I won't probably be back until Thursday or Friday. So I wanted to get into this diabolical shit. I did a little research. I came up with some shit. Wait a minute, let me put wait. Hold on. I did some research and I figured out why I am diabolical now. Okay, here we go.
We tried everything, but Charlie still struggled with math. Then another mom recommended
Violent abuse was certain. Food came once a day, if then, and was barely digestible. Many
Okay.
passage was the water. Its rhythmic, sloshing ambience was the backdrop of an unimaginably terrifying ordeal. Shackled to another with barely room to breathe, illness and disease riddled the lower decks of the slave ships. People would try and escape, would attempt mutiny when they could. Yet, should a rebellion fail, torture and violent abuse was certain. Food came once a day, if then, and was barely digestible. Many found the only escape was to take one's life jumping off the deck, if one could even reach the deck, and if slavers hadn't put nets up. Yet for weeks, going into long months, the rhythmic sloshing of the water was the only semblance of nature to enslaved persons of the Atlantic slave trade. Cold, blue, indifferent, anonymous. Their only possible escape and certain death. Welcome to History on Fleek. Today we examine the diabolical history of the Atlantic slave trade. Starting in the 16th century through to its abolition in the 19th century, the Atlantic slave trade very much shaped the world. Essentially, the slave trade was born of the European desire for cheap labor on their tobacco, cotton, and sugar plantations, but also their mines. The overwhelming majority of people victims of the slave trade were from Central and Western Africa. The first passage of the Atlantic slave trade was the forced removal of Africans from their homes. Typically, they had been captured by rival tribes or even their own, where they were taken to African ports before being sold and loaded as cargo. In the 16th century, the first party to buy West African slaves to transport them across the Atlantic for forced labor were the Portuguese. Across the following centuries, the Dutch, the French, and the British would soon join. It's understood the Portuguese were slave traders who would actively join raids on the African coast to plunder parties for slavery. Curiously, Europeans would avoid the practice in the majority, not for their upstanding morality, mind you, but due to the lack of commercially available malaria treatment at the time. Ultimately, at the expense of much humanity, European traders had found profit in the forced labor of the enslaved and systemized it. As the Atlantic slave trade began to find pushback across the continent of Europe, America would carry on its course of economic expanse through the forced labor of slavery. As estimates stand, between 12 to 12.8 million Africans were made cargo for the Atlantic slave trade over some 400 years. The first European transportation of African slaves was in 1525 from Sao Tome to New Spain. Infamously, the physical transportation of slaves was hideously overcrowded and beset with inhumane conditions. A voyage across the Atlantic could last as long as 1 to 6 months. A typical slave ship held several hundred slaves, with around 30 crew members. From the barracoons of West Africa to their arrival in the New World, enslaved Africans were only viewed as cargo. They were treated as the property of the slave traders and were not afforded any protection or rights. Male slaves were chained together by their ankles in pairs, and women and children would be granted a margin more room. If there was food for the cargo, it would be 1 meal a day with water, typically yams, rice, corn, and palm oil. Once the food was scarce, slave traders and crew became the only priority to feed. Characteristic of most slave transports, the traders and crew were forever in fear of a mutiny of revolt. On some French ships, slaves would be given brief periods on deck for fresh air. Yet this was atypical. The conditions below deck were radically dehumanizing, and the consequences were shudderingly real. At its most heinous and inhumane, the Atlantic slave trade hit its stride in the triangular slave trade. Slave ships left Europe with goods, arrived in Africa, traded goods for slaves, then sailed the slaves to the European colonies in America. This period of the journey from West Africa to the Americas is colloquially known
Namaste, dear ones. I bow to the love and the light that is absolutely in you. Remember that there is a divine inner child within you, and that inner child might be lonely and afraid and might be suffering from trauma, but you must understand that that divine inner child is real, that you have a higher self that has the ability to coax that little divine inner child out into the sunlight and help that inner child learn to understand that your higher self has got this. Your higher self has learned to believe in self and has the ability to protect, nurture, and honor your divine inner child. That's part of the healing process, right? So I bow to love and light that is absolutely in you. Now, this video is going to be about a very, I feel, very dark and sinister aspect of a narcissistic relationship. So I have a client who is a very professional person and has made a wonderful career for herself. She's brilliant, very kind, a lot nicer than I am, I have to tell you. She sounds very gentle, and extremely empathic, very, very sensitive, and very kind. And she was raised by very dysfunctional parents who made her feel unworthy and invisible. She was abused in all different types of ways from family members, and married very much a narcissist that mirrored her father's energy, right? Which we all do, right? We attract what we know. The universe is 2 by 2. So like vibrations attract like vibrations, and that's not our fault because we are born asleep. And we don't know that our vibrations have been hijacked by our external familial experiences, right? So we go through life unaware, and we attract these vibrations, and we go, ooh, this is love because I feel so attracted to them. But we don't understand that the feeling that we're identifying as attraction might feel like love because it mirrors the feelings of love that we had for our parents. So our brain can't tell the difference. We just know, oh, we're attracted to this person. And then we call it love because we're not logical enough yet and not aware enough yet, and we haven't learned to be more objective yet about what love really is, and we haven't really learned to love the self. So our false idea of love becomes what we label as this feeling that we have for this other person. So she attracts this narcissist who is also quite brilliant and who is also a professional person. In fact, he is a doctor, and he has over time abused this amazing person in more ways than one, including physically abused her, including doing ridiculous things to her without getting too specific. And she does know that I was going to create a YouTube video about these ideas. So just for anyone who's interested in how can Lisa talk about her client's experience? My clients understand what the deal's at. And I will tell you, I've never had a client say, no, don't use my experience to help someone else. Never. But if it does happen, that's okay. I'm non-resistant to that. Everybody has a right to feel what they feel. So my client has been physically abused by this husband of hers, and he is having innumerable affairs. And of course, if you're dealing with this, the narcissist will blame you for why he's poking your best friend. A narcissist will blame you for why he has a sex addiction. A narcissist will blame you for why he's addicted to porn. A narcissist will blame you for why he's popping his drugs or whatever. A narcissist will blame you for why he broke your leg. A narcissist will blame you for absolutely everything and anything that goes on in your life that happens at all. It could be, and it doesn't matter. It could be anything good happens, it's because of him. Anything bad that happens, it's because of you. So it's never the other way around. So if something good happens, it's not because of you. It's always going to be because of him. So you graduate with X degrees, this degree or that degree is because of him. He pushed you to become that. Or you land a new client, a really big client, it's because he spoke to someone who was able to hook you up with that client. The roof falls in, it's because you didn't call the guy to fix the roof. You might have been in China for 2 years, but it's your fault because you should have known that you were supposed to call the guy to fix the roof. But, I wanted to talk specifically about this idea of when a narcissist, especially when they're getting close to discarding you, when a narcissist implies that you're crazy and that maybe you should kill yourself, or they imply that you are just so weak, you'll probably kill yourself.
Fear, guilt, regret, expectation, reward, punishment, torture, and pain. These are just a few of the predatory tactics employed by these minions to position their target. This is done so that they can gain control of them through eliciting a wide range of emotions that leave the target feeling weak, isolated, in a state of complete and utter awe and guilt, thus rendering control to the narcissist. Thank you for joining me today. I am Joy, and I would like to extend a warm welcome to the new subscribers to this community. It is our hope that you are Subscribers to this community. It is our hope that you are equipped and inspired to continue to soar towards your prepared places. Welcome back to the returning subscribers. You are appreciated. The narcissist has very specific needs and functions, and in order for these to be met, they need a certain type of individual. Because their needs are many, they require multiple targets to participate in their fantasy world. The thing, though, is that absolutely nobody, not a single person in their right mind, would volunteer to be part of this fantasy freak world. Nobody. And since nobody is willing to participate, the narcissist throws on the cloak of deception provided by their father, the devil, and they go to work to begin the process of identifying a suitable work to begin the process of identifying a suitable target. Then they move in on their wickedness by gaining the trust of the target through more deception. They identify a need and they fill it. They then isolate the target and seek control over the target through, and the entire process, everything, is purely diabolical. It is important that the minion is trusted, while, like their father, the devil, they are committed to no one, and they are only loyal to their own demonic assignment. The grooming process is systematic, and they move deliberately. Their ultimate goal is to tap into the conscious state and alter the target's perception and reality. But it doesn't just end there. You see, what they really want to do is to be able to tap into the subconscious thought, the subconscious mind of the target. And there are many ways that they do this, but one of the most prominent ways is through sex. And it's a known fact that during sex we are vulnerable. We are in a vulnerable state, and spirits are transferred during the act, such as soul ties. And and one thing that they also add is talking to their to the targets during sex. And this is not uncommon because people, they do this boo talk. Oh, I love you, and this is yours, I only want you. You know how that goes. And I mean, this is normal in the height of passion, but there's a reason why these people do it. And the things that they say, the way that they say it, and how they move when they say it, it's all deliberate. And this is where they put on the biggest show, the biggest display of empathy, which is all false because it does not exist within them, to foster a connection with the target, to make them feel like they belong and that they are part of it. And they continue to give this feeling, this false feeling, to the target, so that they feel that they are that they are connecting, and this causes the target to let their guard down. And so they tap into the subconscious of the target during this act. Another way that they do this is by talking to the target while they are sleeping. So I don't know if any of you have ever experienced this, that you wake up in the middle of the night and you found the minion staring at you, or just talking to you, and you ask, well, what are you talking about, what are you doing? And they'll just give you some weak, pathetic example, or excuse, should I say. And that's because that's all they can muster up, because they're not always fast thinkers. But what they're actually doing is chanting to their master while staring at you. And the type of stare that they give is almost one that pierces the soul. But that's all in the process to tap into the target's subconscious. And another way that I've heard of this being done is by just waking up in the middle of the night and finding that this minion is staring you dead in the eyes, or they're just staring at you while you sleep, and their eyes are kind of like glassy, and they just look kind of spaced out. And that's all because it's like they're trying to penetrate your soul, they're trying to penetrate your thoughts so that they can again alter your reality. That's kind of demonic if you really think about it, because why are you staring at somebody that hard? Why are you trying to reach their soul like this while they are asleep?
Mm.
Are you ready to take control of your life and overcome addiction and trauma?
Like this while they are asleep. And so, it's really about the narcissist at the end of the day wanting to siphon your soul. I say that quite a lot on this channel, and I also talk about them as being soul hunters. And that's because above all else, your emotions is what they want control of. That is part of your soul. And if they gain access to your emotions, you will no longer respond to their abusive tactics the way you would have normally. You won't object. You won't, try to defend yourself. You even lose the will to be reactive to this abuse. And that is the goal. You see, they are working hard to desensitize the target. And what happens is when the emotions are able to be taken over by this diabolical entity, it frees up the target's mind and will, which is ultimately what they also want. Because in order to successfully hunt your soul or siphon your soul, they need all three parts: the mind, will, and emotions. And this will get the narcissist their demonic reward. It will get them their upgrade to the next level of minionhood. And so they work hard because they want you to be rendered soulless, because once you are soulless, essentially what the narcissist is doing is indoctrinating their targets to be able to do their bidding for them, and thus adding to the kingdom of darkness. And so once the target is successfully indoctrinated because the narcissist has successfully groomed them, then effectively their soul belongs to the narcissist, and that is used to gain narcissistic supply from other people. But the spirit is what the enemy wants. The spirit, your spiritual life, your spiritual well-being, your ability to connect one-on-one with your creator and have like the fruits of the spirit. You will effectively be denied those things because you're no longer in alignment with your creator and effectively become a worker of darkness. That is what this is about. That is what they want. And so part of the ways that they do this is by manufacturing drama, all to get a reaction from the target. And this is always manipulated because it has to be where the narcissist can be viewed as the victim or the hero in the story. So they will always twist the story or the narrative so that they can be, so that they can get the reward that they are ultimately seeking, and turn the target into the villain of the story. You find that they test their targets, and depending on how the target responds, again, this is all part of the grooming, depending on how the target responds, they are either punished or rewarded. They are either love bombed or devalued. And so, the test is just to see what is your loyalty, where is your loyalty, how committed are you to to them. And if you're committed to them, you're effectively committed to their agenda and ultimately to their father. So, that's what the test is for. But part of this testing, what it also does is it reinforces that trauma bond, that intermittent reinforcement of good and bad behavior according to them. But this is why the narcissist is so attentive and so patient when they are getting
Oh,
to
I gotta
know
go
the
see
victim. You
child
know,
that.
they have to study the target so that they can learn their triggers, and this allows them to know how to effectively manipulate them in different situations. They know when to turn up the shenanigans, and they know when to turn down the drama. And again, they are so committed to this, and here's why they are committed to it. And this is also why they become so obsessed with their targets, is because there is no room for failure whatsoever. You see, the narcissist effectively is an ambassador for the kingdom of darkness, and all that an ambassador does is announce from one kingdom to the next what they are there to do, or be representatives of their kingdom. So the narcissist is coming into our kingdom and trying to bring their darkness. But we know darkness cannot drive out light, and this is why we are victorious. So don't ever feel like you're in a weak or feeble position. No, don't allow them to gain control of your mind and access to your emotions, your will, and your soul. But they come and they try to indoctrinate. They try to indoctrinate people so that they can join them in that kingdom, and further, go through additional grooming so that they in turn become ambassadors of darkness. And so, this happens when they successfully indoctrinate people into the narcissistic harem, into the love cult. And, think about the different cults that you've heard of. Think about the different cult leaders. It's very difficult for victims to break free from that. If you consider, people who have stories like those that have been sensationalized because they are just that dramatic, kidnapped as a child and raised by the predator, and end up being in love with them. That's that Stockholm syndrome. It's hard to break. It's just hard to break even the trauma bond, because the mind has been manipulated so much. And so, this is just how the narcissist works, and they're committed to it. They want the target to no longer be recognized by their friends, by their family, and even themselves, in just the way they are. How crushed their soul is. They walk around with a shadow of humiliation. They're demoralized, and they no longer value themselves. This is where they lose their own identity and take that one that has been assigned to them by these workers of iniquity, by these workers of darkness. And so this is how that indoctrination process takes place. And so, it's really important that when you get free, do everything that you can to stay free. It's not a game, and you do not belong to the kingdom of darkness. Just like the narcissist is committed to learning as much as they possibly can about you, you too must learn everything that you can about you. That means you're committed to doing the work to figure out, who am I, and why do I attract these people? If you find that you're always in a position or always in a situation where you are attracting these fleas, it's time for you to figure that part out and begin to heal that area of your life so that you begin to repel them. They don't want to have any parts of anything with you. And that's so important. But also reinforce your things, or should I say, reinforce yourself in the things that make you stronger, in the things that make you stand out, and in the things that empower you. That is through the word, it is through fellowship, it's through worship, and it's knowing your creator for yourself. It's not about being religious, but it's about having a relationship with him. And that is going to be the part that saves you. That's the part that's going to empower and equip you to continue to move forward and do this work that is waiting for you in whatever capacity it is. So I want to thank you so much for taking some time to spend with me today. I hope that you enjoy the rest of your weekend. Until the next video, take care of yourself and take care of each other.
think sport can absolutely be a creative endeavor. It requires you being very
Okay, I gotta say this right quick before I fall asleep. So, I did some research and I kind of understand where you're coming from because your pattern has not changed. Everything that happened to you, or everything that you've been through, or the way people treat you or address you in your real life, you want to put that jacket on other people. Well, you want to put that jacket on 2300. So you want to put all this demon, devil, worshipping, and diabolical shit off on me. And I'm like, I had to go and do some research on it because I've never heard anybody use it in a sentence. Actually, I had to really think about it. I'm like, if anybody ever hear anybody say, oh, unless it was in a movie. I've heard it on a movie, but not in real life. I haven't heard nobody ever talk about diabolical shit. Unless they're talking about some kind of movie. So this real life juicy blueberry lip bitch is talking diabolical. And I'm like, I don't know nothing about that. I don't want to know anything about it. And I could never, of course I'm going to say that. I don't have any characteristics like that. I don't. Mm-mm. I don't go around fucking with people. I don't go around fucking with people. I don't go around looking for the fuck up. I do not wake up every day looking for the fuck up. Every day. 365 days of the year. The whole 6 years we've been on here. No. So, I know about you and that email that you sent out to your so-called sister, but Karen got the email and Karen read that email. So I know that's one time of you calling out to spirits or demons or something, somewhere out in the ocean in a bottle or something. You were asking your sister to send you some spiritual help from the ocean. You said you needed some help on the YouTube streets. I was like, oh, this bitch is a demon. She's a bona fide demon. A whole YouTube walking bona fide blueberry demon up and down the YouTube streets. So that's one that I know for a fact about that email that you sent to Karen. I know about that. I don't know why she won't bring that email out, but it would be wonderful if she would bring that email out, because all I remember about the email is you thought you were sending the email to your sister, but you sent the email to Karen, and Karen read the email on live, and she said that you was asking your sister to send you some kind of special powers. YouTube powers. You give me the superpower. You was wanting YouTube powers to help you. Because when you first came to YouTube, people, some people know this and some people don't know this. But I know for a fact that you're a crybaby, because you would be crying on every live. You would sit there and cry. And they would say, oh, don't make her cry. Don't make her cry. Please don't cry. Please let us stay. Please let us stay. I said I was going to be good. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like I don't have to go hard anymore because you're no more. Your shit's done. YouTube locked you up in the filing case and threw away the key. As far as I'm concerned, you went in on the gays and YouTube took your shit. But anyway, this one right here is really good. Listen up.
Grace and peace, friends and family. Welcome and thank you so much for joining me. My name is Joy and I am the founder of Pink Girl Teaches. I'm a certified life coach and I help victims overcome the fog they experience when being in a relationship with a narcissist. And I do this from a biblical perspective because I am a Christ follower and it is Jesus Christ who awoken me to the truth of what I was experiencing. And we overcome by the blood of the Lamb and the word of our testimony. And so this is why I am here. I want to take a moment to invite the ladies to join me to the When Queens Convene Bible Study, which is going to be tonight at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. We meet on Zoom. It is not recorded. And we discuss a woman from the Bible. Every month it's a new woman. This month we are going to be looking at Tabitha, also known as Dorcas, and her stories in Acts chapter 9. I invite you to join me. And you can also just visit the website. You can register at the website, and you can also just visit the website. It's pinkgirlteaches.com. Take a look around and see the services that are offered. I do have some prayer journals as well as scripture journals that I created, and I use them myself. And if I can say so myself, they have been helping me in my growth, in my journey, should I say, of spiritual growth and development. But let's get to this topic today. The demonic traits of the female narcissist and what to look out for. Don't forget to hit the like button as you are watching this video so that we can share it out there. When it comes to the talk of NPD and narcissists, the conversation is happening, but what happens a lot of the time is that it centers around men. And that is because statistically, there are more male narcissists than there are female ones. However, as survivors and thrivers of this insidious and demonic abuse, we know that narcissists, they're not lining up to be diagnosed or to be diagnosed so that they can heal, right? And if we go to Matthew 12:26, what it tells us is that, and if Satan casts out Satan, he is divided against himself. How shall then his kingdom stand? So that kingdom is not divided. That's why they will not show up. It's a very small percentage. It's a very small number of people who get tested. And usually there is a reason behind them getting tested. But we must remember that Satan masquerades as an angel of light. And likewise, his ministers do the exact same thing. So people will really expect male narcissists to be, the dominant thing. But I do believe that, that's one of the tactics of the enemy to cause distraction, to keep people distracted, always looking for male narcissists and blindside them with female ones. And women are able to hide behind their femininity and, their softness. And so people really have a hard time correlating that this woman, this petite, little, charming, sweet grandmother or whomever could be so evil and wicked. She'd bat her eyelashes and give you a beautiful smile and people will be like, not her. Yes, her. They are equally dangerous and diabolical, equally evil as their male counterparts. And I do believe that some female narcissists are significantly more devious and demonic and manipulative than the male ones. Because remember, narcissism at the core is a spirit. And according to the word of God, in Ephesians, right, it lets us know that what? We wrestle not against flesh and blood. Therefore, it's a spirit. And that spirit rests either on a male or a female, and each spirit is influenced by different things. That's why narcissism in itself exists on a spectrum, right? And it's just the amount of, or the demons, the spirits that are influencing that person, as well as how high ranking they are. Okay, so before we discuss the female narcissist, I just want to point out a couple of differences between the male and female narcissist. And this was according to a study. The study was done by the University of Buffalo, and I will add a link to that study in the video description, so you can take a look at it. I found it pretty interesting. But the study was based on 475,000 participants, and they compared the male and female narcissists using 3 criteria. They looked at traits related to leadership, authority, grandiosity, as well as entitlement. And what they found out is that there is a distinct gender difference between the males, who present more as more power hungry and more entitled than female narcissists. And so I think these are the differences that are internalized as children, the stereotypes, should I say, as well as the societal pressures and gender roles that mold the female narcissist to be different than the male narcissist. But let's look at the traits of the female narcissist, the demonic traits of the female narcissist, so we know what to look out for, because that's what this video is about. When it comes to these type, they're more likely going to be covert and stealth narcissists. This means that they are less obvious than the male counterparts, or some of the male counterparts, because a covert male, we'll have a conversation about that, but they're less obvious, right? And they're more likely to use manipulation and seduction to get what they want. Now, I believe that this is where the Jezebel reference comes in a lot, because with Jezebel, right, if you read in First Kings, right, and start at about chapter 16 and keep reading, what we'll see is she knew that Jehu was coming after her. He was coming to kill her. She knew this, should I say. And instead of her taking this as an opportunity to repent, instead of her even trying to flee, trying to run away and avoid this impending doom, what did Jezebel do? She started putting on her makeup. She started beautifying herself. Why? Why would she do that? Because I believe wholeheartedly that she was trying to seduce General Jehu and escape death that way. And if she was able to do this, like any narcissist, I believe, in fact, sociopath, psychopath, I believe she would have flipped the table, flipped the script, and killed him if she had been successful. But that's what she did. She got dolled up in the face of danger, thinking that was going to protect her or that was going to save her. Female narcissists are going to use, I guess, female tools, the seductiveness and all of that, to manipulate people. When it comes to them, they want to be considered the final voice of authority in the lives of their targets. This is why I call these entanglements pagan worship, which is idolatry. She needs her, and before we even go further, the whole story of Jezebel is centered on idolatry. The whole story of it is all about idol worship. And so female narcissists, let's go back to that. Female narcissists need their targets to constantly validate them and give them the attention. And this is all pagan worship. It is all idolatry. And the thing about it is, it's not optional. It is a must. When it comes to God, we are given free will. We have free will to seek Him. We have free will to worship. We have free will to pray. but not in a pagan relationship. You must follow the command from the head. I was about to say the head's a god, but they're not a god. Narcissists, although they view themselves as your master, your lord, and your god, they're not. They are human just like us that are under a demonic influence, that have partnered with the kingdom of darkness to steal, kill, and to destroy in the lives of of the people that they encounter. So they must absolutely be the center of attention, and they go to great work. They go to great lengths to make sure this happens. And what happens is when you do not do that, when you fail at the job of worshiping them. Here comes that narcissistic rage. Why? Because you actually caused a narcissistic injury. And for some people, you wonder, well, what did I do? I said everything right. Yeah, but maybe you didn't smile enough. You should have been showing your December teeth. You shouldn't have just come in there straight face and said, oh, you look nice. No, you should have made it all about how wonderful she looks. So a lot of people don't know what it is that causes that injury. But sometimes consider body language, the tone, the inflection of your voice, and you're also being compared to the other subjects in the narcissistic harem who may have actually bowed down and worshiped, maybe not physically but metaphorically, and so you're being compared to that level of idol worship. Okay? She's an attention seeker and will do anything. And you got to remember that a kingdom divided against itself cannot stand. And so in their minds, yes, they see themselves as rulers of kingdoms, but before we even get far on these type of kingdoms, they are all in Swampville. So you have no business there. Because in Swampville, you are worshiping marine spirits. Okay, you have no business in Swampville. You ought to come out and redirect your focus back to God. That's through repentance, through renouncing sin, idolatry, and actually being committed to walking the walk. Not just being a hearer of the word, but rather a doer of the word. That should be our goal and our focus. These women, the female narcissists, they love social media. They want to post for attention. They want to post, for compliments. And sometimes they will post the accomplishments of their children, of their siblings, even of their parents if they're, younger, the accomplishments of anybody, their partners, anybody, and claim some type of ownership over said accomplishments, should I say, because they want to be worshipped. If it wasn't for me, it's because of the type of mother that I am, that my children are, A, B, C, D. It's all about idolatry. They must be worshipped. They are masters at manipulation. They are very charming, right, and incredibly charismatic. But these masters of manipulation will use flattery and false compliments to secure supply. Let's go back to the Jezebel and Jehu analogy, right? She was attempting to use her looks and her sexuality as a weapon. This is what they do. In their mind, they see a man, right? This is an example. They see a man and he has everything that she needs. He's financially secure, stable, and she's already beginning in her mind to see how said man can be beneficial to her. Or maybe you're her female friend and she's looking at you and your influence, your audience, or just whatever, right? Your connections, whatever she views as a desired end, she is going to position herself and use her looks. And again, now for men, looks and sexuality as a weapon. She wants to bamboozle you with her appearance. Hair, makeup, clothes, they must be on fleek 24/7. She has to, play the part so that she can get the admiration, the adoration, the adulation, and the attention that she seeks. But the level that she wants it at crosses over to where it becomes idolatry. And she becomes the god, or in her mind, she is the god of Swampville. But when you know that broken window effect, like when you break a window and it's a day and you're like, I'll fix it tomorrow, and tomorrow tomorrow just never comes. And 5 years down the road, you are still not bothered because it's been that way for so long. That's how they are so comfortable in Swampville, because they don't even recognize the condition that they are in. You, on the other hand, child of God, have no business in Swampville. Neither do you have any business associating with those that are there. They tend to be controlling. And you remember, let's go back to the fact that they are pagan gods. Everybody must be a loyal subject, and this loyalty is forceful. They will do whatever they have to do to get you to be loyal. Think about the manipulation, the lies, the future faking, the false flattery, all to lead you to a place of deception and to keep you under their subjection. You see, when the enemy, his agenda is always to steal, kill, and to destroy. But why? So he can gain dominion. It's ownership that they want. Ownership of you. No, it's crazy. They have a deep desire, and that we're going back to the control. This desire that they have to know what is going on at all times and in all places is extreme. That's why they are gossipers, murmurers, backbiters. It's all to fill or all to feed, right? The influence, the demonic influence that is on the inside of them. Experts at gaslighting, which, let's not get it twisted, is psychological manipulation. They want their targets to doubt their own sanity. Chaos and confusion. And so another thing I want you to remember is that they're incredibly petty and sarcastic. And if you just think of the condition of society and culture right now, it is one that is highly sarcastic and very petty. And those type of things are glorified. And so, why people will wonder, well, why can't they see that so-and-so is, a narcissist or whatever, or that this is actually toxic behavior or abusive, because it's entertaining to them. And it gives her the attention also that she wants. So it can be, a way for her to get additional supply, or, just to amp up that supply. And so that's why she is that way. But they love to play the victim. Woe is me, the damsel in distress. She blames others for her own problems all the time. And if she is a mom, she uses her children as pawns to gain sympathy. It's crazy when you really think about it, though. It's really crazy. It's insane. They are very ruthless. The female narcissist may not be, physically aggressive or just as aggressive as men. And when I say she may not be, please understand that this is on the spectrum. There are some that are physically aggressive. We've seen this. There's evidence of it out there. There are people within our own community that have shared stories where the female narcissist was aggressive. But I'm using this, just in comparison to men, because we are highlighting her traits. She may not be as physically aggressive, but please understand that does not make her less abusive. Abuse is abuse. The scars may not be always visible, but they are there. And we all know that those emotional scars run deep. This is why children of female narcissists are, they struggle with that mother wound. And that mother wound runs deep because, we're all groomed to believe that mothers should be a certain way, kind, loving, affectionate. She's one of the first people that her children, her sons, her daughters are supposed to experience safety and love. She is to validate her children. She is to make them feel seen and heard, but never a female narcissist. That mother wound runs deep. It runs deep, and they, because they have no emotional empathy, they couldn't care less about anyone's feelings. That's why even a baby can get it. Even a baby can get it. And the thing that makes all of this so diabolical is that they actually enjoy other people's pain. It gives them pleasure. They mock and they ridicule those who are struggling and feel absolutely not an ounce of remorse for their hurtful words as well as actions. You know, the saying goes, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never harm me. That is a lie. Those words cut deep. And a lot of the times when they are spewing this venom, it reveals the heart. It shows you who they are. When they are saying all those nice, kind, endearing things, please understand that that's the lie. That's the seduction. That's the spirit of manipulation. That is the enticement. She means none of it. But when those fiery darts come, the word curses. What the enemy wants to do with that is to get you into a place of agreement so that you can be tormented by those fiery darts. It's important that, you know, if you've heard anything, or, you know, if you've heard the words of not just the female narcissist, but just narcissists and toxic people in general, please do not internalize them. And I know that's so hard because it comes from a person that, you know, you looked up to, you loved, you thought was something, you know, they had future faith, or they were supposed to represent something. Think of a mother and the representation of a mother, but all you got was word curses from her. So I understand that it's difficult, but you have to remember that it is the spirit that is speaking through them. Yes, the words are coming out of them. We wrestle not against flesh and blood. And so you must get the healing and the deliverance on a spiritual level. And I'm not talking about spiritual through new age and chanting and all of this other stuff. The spirit of the living God. He's the healer. Jehovah Rapha, the one who heals. That's who you need it from. In order for a female narcissist to achieve and maintain the status that she seeks, she does not care who she needs to trample over. Whoever gets in her way can get it. And whatever tools and whatever other people that are at her disposal to help her get that, she will use them. She does not care. Any perceived threat must be destroyed. And sometimes the threat is her own children.
Damn.
Okay? So this is why they are so demonic. How do you see your own child, your own flesh and blood, the one you carried for 9 months, as a threat? A threat to what? Swampville? They use their flying monkeys to abuse targets by proxy, and they coordinate vicious, relentless smear campaigns. The goal at the end of the day is to steal, kill, and destroy. Utter demolition, annihilation of their targets so they can have demonic dominion. I want to thank you so much for sharing your time with me. If you did not hit the like button, I encourage you to please do so now. Continue
as valuable or important when something affects their sense of worth. the larger their ego is, the more at risk it is of being bruised. When they're entertaining their delusions of grandeur, that is actually when they are most vulnerable. Narcissists are very sensitive people. They always have to be right. They always have to be in control. So it is actually very easy to cause a narcissistic injury. You may find yourself walking on eggshells. You may become extremely cautious of your words and actions when you are around them, because you're afraid of how they might react. But identifying if you have caused a narcissistic injury can help you to protect yourself, which is why I have decided to share these 8 signs with you. One, narcissistic rage. The most obvious sign you have caused a narcissistic injury is narcissistic rage. They will get very angry. They will insult you and put you down. They will say and do whatever they think will hurt you the most. In 8, they can be unpredictable. They can be very dangerous. They may throw things at you. They may damage your property. And they may even become physically violent. Two, passive aggression. If the narcissist feels threatened by you, they will become passive aggressive. They will express their anger or annoyance indirectly, in a way that is designed to hurt and confuse you. They will say something and then do something different. They will pretend to agree with you when they hold a different opinion, because they're afraid of the consequences of expressing their anger directly towards you. Maybe they're worried that they might lose some of the conveniences that you're providing to them, so instead they become passive aggressive. They push just to the edge of what you're willing to tolerate, so that it's not enough for you to call them out on it, so that you don't have a firm conviction to disconnect from them, which enables them to continue their behavior. Three, criticism. When the narcissist experiences a narcissistic injury, it's because they feel less valuable or important. But they don't want to reflect on these feelings. It's too painful for them to deal with. So instead, they try to put you beneath them by targeting your sense of worth.
So you tickle pink, right? Actually, I've been celebrating. Ever since you went in on the gays, ever since you went in on the gays, I've been celebrating because if the shoes was on the other foot, oh my God, the celebrations that would be going on now. If this would have happened to me, um, you did a live on me, and you were going off on me, and then I felt some kind of way because you always do a live on me, and I feel some kind of way. I'm just saying, if this is just me thinking out loud, or suppose if the shoe was on the other foot, So if this would have happened to me, and you were sitting back eating candy like me right now tonight, and I can go live from all 6 channels without having to show any ID or any facial recognition, all that good shit. I don't have to do any of that. I'll just that's some good candy. I just hit the like button. That's some good candy. I just hit the like button. But I do know for a fact that you are heated and you are ready to take this heat out on anybody. Well, let me take that back. You want to take it out on me. But it's not my fault. You lost your channels. It's the universe and YouTube. That's the reason why you lost your channels. And you're trying to keep it on the low. So, I guess we're supposed to sit back and wait and see if you can get back into your pages and go live. So I don't know what to say. So, that's some good sugar. I didn't even look to see was it all the channels. I think it is because we haven't seen nothing come up. So 1, 2, 3. I think it's all 3 channels. Gone. Poof. Now, this channel right here that I'm on, I figured out how to wait. I figured out a way how I could still go live from it, even though I can't get into it. I bet you wish you knew how Talk to the Blueerry. This is really good sugar. I'm really high. Either this is really good sugar or I'm really high. It is late though. I'm in the bed. I got a little bit more time before I have to close my eyeballs. But I know. That's some good sugar. I know for a fact. That you can't go live on those pages because you got popped for harassment and bullying the gay community. Wait a minute. I'm not laughing because it was a gay community. I'm laughing because you got YouTube to give you a case number. You actually went and ate YouTube's pussy and got a case number. And then YouTube opened up their ears. This is good sugar. Oh, I'm just high, okay? I'm probably just high, and smoking and, smoking and sugar goes hand in hand. I don't know if y'all know that or not. But, smoking and sugar goes hand in hand. It's a wonder why I ain't no big old fat bitch over here. Because I eat a lot of sugar. But I also eat in moderation. I wouldn't dare sit and eat a whole bag of fucking sugar. Or eat a whole bunch of cookies or a whole cake or some shit like that. Hell no. I don't want to be no big nasty bitch. I like my little ass. I do. Size 5 to be exact. I like it. Okay, so that candy was really good. I want to eat some more, but it's too late to be eating sugar like that. But I thought it was awfully funny that YouTube gave you a case number and they opened up their ears and listened. They listened out for you. It was like a shelter. Like a homeless shelter. Like that homeless shelter you said you didn't want to go to. I couldn't imagine. I'm going to talk you guys to sleep. Either I'm going to talk y'all to sleep or I'm going to pass out on you guys. But just imagine sitting on a rooftop, you and your mister. Well, it wasn't mister. You and your man sitting up on a rooftop. KISSING. Just imagine you and your significant other sitting on a rooftop begging YouTube for toilet paper. Imagine sitting on a rooftop with your significant other begging YouTube to pay your phone bill. Just imagine sitting on a rooftop asking YouTube that you already paid your rent and you don't want to go to a shelter. You don't deserve to go to a shelter. I think YouTube need to put me up in a motel, me and Big Red. We need to be up in a motel. We don't need to go to no shelter. I'm going to suck his cock. Well, you wasn't sucking Big Red's cock. He was throwing you over hitting the back door. Because he just got out of jail for 5 years. So he was definitely using the backdoor action, and that's why he was coming up on YouTube. Can anybody tell me? Can somebody please tell me what I need to do to keep Big Red from beating on me? What I need to do to stop him from beating me? Now I've been fake fighting up and down the YouTube streets because Big Red say he want me to fake fight. So I get up here and I fake fight with people because me and Big Red gotta eat. We gotta eat, you know. Big Red say, get on YouTube and fake fight, eat the pussy, do what you need to do, get me some money. We gotta eat and we need to smoke. Flow need a cleaning, clothes need a washing, shit like that. So Mr. telling you, up on the rooftop, you get on that goddamn phone and you call them motherfuckers. You get on that goddamn phone and you make a motherfucking wish lip. Goddamn juicy blueberry bitch. Big Red said, make a wish, bitch. And make it come true. He told you to get on YouTube and fucking fake beef, or he's gonna beat your ass and fuck the back door. I kind of like that. Beat your ass and fuck the back door. So you come to goddamn YouTube. I've been condemned. I's condemned now. I's condemned now. I'm condemned now. I need some YouTube help. I need toilet paper. My cell phone needs to be paid. We need food. And I do mean Big Red. And when I say we need food, water, toilet paper, candy. Candy. What else did you ask for on that rooftop? I had to think really hard. That was a long time ago when you was sitting up there with that red ball cap on that rooftop all proud. You and Big Red proud. Up there begging and scamming. 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 You sit back and think about all that shit. That's a lot. The diabolicalness in it. I think that's diabolical. Y'all think that's diabolical? To come to YouTube for sympathy and empathy, and then have YouTube to open their ear, open up their personal ear for you, Juicy Blueberry. YouTube open up their personal ear for you, Blueberry Lip. You know what? You had it made. You had it made. You had a whole motherfucking case number and you threw it away because you got greedy. Well, I'm going to take that back. You didn't get greedy. The universe and karma was working on you because it all stemmed from the blood money and you call him a family member. That's what it all boiled down to. If you wouldn't have made the call, you'd still have all your pages. If you wouldn't have been bashing the gays, you'd still have all your pages. If you wouldn't have went over to Max's chat begging for that money, you was begging. You're a thirsty, dirty bitch. You are. You're a dirty lip blueberry. You're a dirty lipped blueberry. Ring of shit. You are. If you wouldn't have went over there begging for that blood money, you might still have your pages. I think that's diabolical. No, I'm going to take that back. I believe that was diabolical because someone was doing something very, 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 very nice for another content creator. You know, putting out the word, setting up an email, trying to get money together for another content creator that was so kind and considerate of that person to go out of his way to try to help another content creator that don't have a fucking dime or a pot to piss in. It is what it is up and down these YouTube streets. I've learned. Even the ones that you really think you know, you don't. You don't. You don't. I'm fucking 5 years in. And it's what? The 5th? No, it's to June. And a month ago, my eyes were open. A month. I mean, May. Yeah, May was a big month for me. I did some major changing when it comes to J4K community. Not the other communities, you guys. Let me make myself clear. I made some major changes when it comes to the J4K community because apparently you guys can't get it together. You guys can't figure shit out. It'd be right in your face. And you guys still let it go. You still let it ride. Like I say, you got to get along to breathe. You got to get along to be along, to stay along, to breathe. You guys need each other. And you guys are all alike. So I definitely learned a lot for the month of May. And I'm definitely moving differently up and down the YouTube streets when it comes to the J4K community. Fuck with me and I'll bite y'all motherfucking heads off. I'm just waiting. Okay? I'm just waiting for any one of you to say something to me. Because I'll bite your fucking head off. I don't give a fuck who you are. Get into it. If the shoe fits, wear it. I said I was going to be nice, though. So let me keep it nice. I just wanted to put that in the atmosphere in case anybody felt like they wanted to jump. 23 already. Because I know it's a lot of stuff. A lot of work. A lot of things going down behind the scenes. And 23 is in great danger at this point. Especially when you made the move with the Blueerry shit. Because you had to make a move for the Blueerry shit because you wanted to do a live. And you know I'm tickled pink. I don't know if you know that or not, but I am tickled pink that you needed a white bitch black bam, whole baby of YouTube with the stationary coat hanger and the pussy to help you go live. I thought that was awesome. I like that. That's all you got. That's all you got to ride with you. That's wild. See how that universe works? Yeah. So I know you're like really, 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 really heated. Really upset about the way things went down up and down the YouTube streets. And you have every right to be upset. About the way the things played out in your behalf, especially when you got your whole YouTube case, and then bragging about the YouTube case. But what got me is you felt so bold to brag about having YouTube ear listening and helping you and supporting you and giving you that empathy and sympathy that you truly need up and down these YouTube streets. So I know you were very happy to get that case, and for you to get that heated and explode and go in on the gay community knowing that YouTube just opened up their heart and their ear and their soul to you, and for you to throw it all away within hours of getting that case number, it had to have been the universe. The universe and karma. So, I was in the bushes. I'm going to talk about that live. I was in the bushes. What time is it? Okay, I'll go another 15 minutes. Oh, I was in the bushes when you were going in on the gays. It was really diabolical. All the words that you were using, it was so grimy and disgusting, and it was very, very low, below the belt. And it was very graphic, and it was wrenching. And with this being the Gay Pride Month, I believe that YouTube they just had enough and passed a new law and wiped you off of YouTube. I mean, you have to blink your eyes 2 times and cough and fart to get those pages back. And I know for a fact you can't do any of those because when you struck me and I got that personal information from when you struck my 2 pages and took them, they were under 2 different names. What was that? So in order to get those pages back, you got to have an ID with both of those names on it to claim those pages back. And the new law up and down these YouTube streets is don't fuck up. Look, don't fuck up and forget your password, okay? Don't break your laptop. Don't break your phone, okay? If you get a strike, write it out. Suck it up. Write it out. Come back when it's over. Quit crying. Be a big girl. Pull up your goddamn Section 8 panties and keep it moving. There's lots of things that you could have done, but you are like so big bad up and down the YouTube streets that you felt that you could do and say anything. And really, I kind of feel like I'm the blame for that because you did a lot to me. A lot. And a lot of other people too. Not just to me. You did a lot to me, and then you did it to the other person, then you did it to the other person, then you did it to the other person. And then y'all took it to the other communities. And this is where we're at. And I'm just on here to let you know that 23 is tickled pink. I am just tickled pink. I'm just beside myself. So really, I was thinking, I was like, I don't even have to go real hard anymore. I don't. I can go back to being sweet 2300. Now, I know I'm being recorded. I can't stop you from recording me. Okay? But I know that you are limited right now, and you are heated, and you are so crushed, and you have been injured, not by me, but by karma, the universe, and the diabolical. There it is, a diabolical. You see? It all stems from that. So, how can I be diabolical? You said I was diabolical. I was like, now wait a minute. When did I turn into diabolical? Because that's like an evil spirit. And I went and prayed to no ocean to ask for no YouTube help. I ain't talking to no demon spirits. I ain't went on YouTube and said that I put the yeebie jeebies on Cruz over there and had her coming back begging and crying. Yeah, you made me sick. I'm sorry. I felt sick because I was talking about your child. Your child. Your child. You could never have me on here doing some dumb shit like that. I can't believe I'm still in shock over that. I'll never get over that. So you had the Karen King thing with the uh uh sending the email to your sister for YouTube powers, and then you had Cruz come on here and said that you made her sick with some goddamn YouTube powers, something you goddamn cooking up, and then you said you was coming on here and you had somebody to help you put the goddamn black yeebie yeebie uh blueberry juicy lip spells on me. You know, that's the goddamn diabolical shit. And then calling my family member and telling them that I'm grooming children in California. That is diabolical. Get into it, Shitinah. What's wrong with you, lady? What's wrong with you? And when you do make up your fucking page, the first person you want to get at is me. Why? I told you 4 years ago that I was your karma. I told you every time you see me, it was going to be your karma, Shitinah. I told you 4 years ago that I am your karma. You just can't mistreat people and get away with it. Eventually, it'll all catch up to you. It does. And you feel like you're just so big bad that you can do and say anything up on this platform. And I know for a fact in your real life, you're just this tiny little being that sits around and cry because you're so pitiful. You're pitiful. You've had a hard way to go. You've had a hard life. You've had a pitiful life. And you want people to feel some kind of way. You would never get any empathy and sympathy from me, Shitinah. Never, ever. I don't believe anything about you. Your whole story up and down these YouTube streets was a motherfucking lie. Get into it. It's sad though. And you want people to argue with you. You've been doing this your whole entire life. Your whole entire life. Diabolical. That's diabolical. Your whole life has been like this. Your childhood. You said your grown cousin fucked you. You came back in 23 and said your grown cousin fucked you. You fucked your kids up. You and your mama pregnant at the same time. You won't let your mama be gay. You swore up and down the YouTube streets that your mama ain't gay. And everybody seen that she was gay. That's diabolical right there. You gonna go to hell for denying your mama. You going to hell anyways. And you know that. You're just trying to gather up as much peoples, as you can get to follow you down this path. I see you got one serious flying monkey. That's 3,000. He's a serious flying monkey. Shout out to you, 3,000, for holding it down all these years. How does that feel to know that you've been holding down the dirtiest, the lowest, the grimiest, the diabolicalest motherfucker of YouTube? They got a case number. See what YouTube did for you, though? They watched your ass and they shut your mouth up. This ain't the end of it, though. You took that blood money. You know what I'm talking about? This ain't the end of it. It's like what Tina Turner was saying, big wheel keep on turning, Proud Mary keep on turning, rolling, rolling, rolling down the YouTube. This is just gonna keep on rolling. This karma ain't gonna slow down because y'all ain't got no damn sense. Say, we'll be back. We'll be back. Let me go get white bitch black bam baby hoe of YouTube with the stationary coat hanger in her pussy. So you know I'm tickled pink that that's your bestie. See how the universe works? It's your karma calling. 1350 calling, bitch. 1350.